Hello, guys. Welcome to myself Simon Show. Today, I have an honor to talk to someone that I love. She's a radio presenter. She's a musician. She's a DJ. She's a whole lot of things in MC. You can name it. She's from Soweto. So today, it's an honor to be joined by Miss Cosmo. Miss Cosmo, how are you?
Fine, and you?
I'm also fine. Welcome to myself Simon Show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm the one who's honored here. You grew up in Soweto, right? Deep Kloof.
I wouldn't say grew up as such, but I lived there for a couple of years before we moved to the suburbs. But I lived in Deep Kloof until I was about 6 years old.
6 years. Do you have any memories?
I actually do. I know exactly where the house is. I still remember how to drive there. I have a few friends that I still know from Deep Kloof from back then. And yeah, I've got a couple of memories from just playing on the street, just the camaraderie and just, being neighborly around the area. So
if you don't mind, how was the environment at home as you were growing up?
The environment was good. I mean, homely, very healthy family. I think my parents were very strict, but I think at the time it was also because they also wanted the best for me and my sister. So good family environment, I would say.
Yeah. And now you became interested in music.
Yes.
You went to, is it Fuzz or Fuse?
Fuse,
yes. You went there and you decided to learn about DJ and all the stuff. What actually got your interest in music?
I grew up around music. So for me, music was already a no-brainer. If you understand the type of people that I had around me, I mean, my dad is very big on jazz music. So he had introduced me to jazz from a very young age, from like 5, 6 years old. As soon as I could start talking, that's when he was playing that type of music around me. My grandfather was also in a jazz band. He used to play the saxophone. My mom was in the choir. My grandmother was a choir director. So music was definitely just around my family from that perspective, but also very more traditional type of music. But when it comes to listening to different genres, house, hip hop, kwaito, that all came to me through the, like watching TV, watching different music shows and things like that. So that definitely influenced me a lot to kind of go into the more commercial type of music and understanding exactly what gets young people going,
Yeah, but it's like there's, as you're talking about jazz, right? Grew up listening to jazz and everyone at home loving jazz. Why you chose specifically to be a hip hop DJ?
It's what spoke to me. Different genres speak to different people, Jazz speaks to my father, but hip hop spoke to me. And it's not to say that there aren't elements of jazz in hip hop, because I mean, with hip hop we sample from every type of genre. So there's different elements that you can use in different in those genres as well. And that's what I enjoy about hip hop, is that it's so vast and it's got different varieties and you can span it in different ways. You can move it. You can sample from jazz, you can sample from pop, you can sample from house, you can sample from all these various types of brands, but then also still stay within hip hop. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I love about it. I love the energy, I love the culture, I love the people, I love how it's presented, what it represents as well. And that's what it spoke to me at that time, because those are the things that I thought were encompassing of me.
And just before we go into YFM, before you started the music career, you were a graduate, right?
Yes.
It's BCom Finance.
Yes, BCom Finance. I got my BCom Finance degree at UJ.
What made you to say, I want to go to school before I can follow my passion in music?
At the time, I didn't even know I had a passion for music. I think that's also why I continued with finance, because I loved music, but I didn't know if I wanted to be in music. And I didn't know what to do in the music industry or entertainment. So for me, going into finance was just the easier, safe route that everybody goes into. Okay, well, I'm good at this. I'm passionate about it. Let me go into it. Which I'm still passionate about business and finance. I just use it in different ways as a DJ, as opposed to using it in the very more traditional way. But the music caught up with me and the passion caught up with me. And when I was done with varsity and I went into Fuse Academy, as you mentioned, that's when I began my DJing journey,
Have you worked before you started with music? as a finance?
Yes, I did. I worked at a bank actually for about 4 years.
Yeah.
Mm.
They never mentioned what the name of the bank were at. Do you mind talking about it?
No, well, I don't necessarily mention the bank because I mean that gives them free advertising. But I mean my experience there was really good. I mean I learned a lot about business. I learned a lot about financing. I learned a lot about helping clients, how to be professional, time management, how to present yourself. Something as simple as sending an email is very important because it talks to professionalism, but also talks to being able to address what's important and what you need to say to the next person receiving it. And I say that it's important because my time on radio made me realize that people don't know how to send emails. Sometimes people will send submissions for songs and it's just an email with with an attachment of a song. And I'm like, but what must I do with this? There's no information. I don't know who you are. I don't know where you come from. I don't know what you want me to listen to. I don't know what your aspirations are. You've given me no information. So that's why I'm saying there was a very important skills that I learned working in a bank environment, which I was able to then take on with myself as an artist and keep myself professional because of that. You know?
So in saying that, you want to tell me that you are more of a financial advisor yourself?
I mean, I can. I just don't. But I know how to manage my money because I've got the experience of working in a bank.
Yeah. And now YFM.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I was actually scouted for that. I was headhunted for that. So after I'd finished at Fuse and I had done my lessons at Fuse, I'd started DJing a couple of places and also going to a few venues just to, get myself into the space. And I had started a residency at a specific event, which was every Sunday. So people kind of knew about it. And I was just trying myself out, trying to grow, trying to gain my confidence as a DJ as well. Because DJing is very hard. It's not as easy as people make it seem. So I think from there I started getting better and people started appreciating my mixes and my DJing because I was a resident at a venue. And when the time came for YFM, when they needed a hip hop DJ and they wanted a female specifically to join YTKO, I was then headhunted by the programs manager at YFM at the time, who specifically said he wanted a hip hop female DJ to come in for the space. And it was a great time. And when I joined YTKO, we were the first batch of those YTKO DJs at the time, which is amazing because just to kind of see how YTKO has kind of grown over the years is amazing. And to say that I was the first of that batch is, it's testament to time.
I saw Mofleva giving you shout out on the Hustlers Corner. Did you see that episode?
No, I didn't actually.
Yeah. I was mentioning you when he was talking about his experience at YFM.
Yeah.
When I heard him talking about you, I was like, no, that's a great thing for him to recognize people that he worked with, especially females. And now you are at YFM. Last month, when Cassper was introducing you as one of the panelists at Gong, he mentioned that you played a huge role in his career.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
It's not something that I claim. And I don't claim it because I feel like it's my duty to do what I did. I feel like as a hip-hop DJ in South Africa, if we want to push the culture forward and we want to, get people to be recognized, you don't sit back and say, oh, I made Cassper. Oh, I made Nasty CEO. Oh, I did this, I did that. You don't. I don't necessarily speak about it like that. But it's not to say that I can't mention how I assisted from that perspective. And I would say it's honestly just being passionate about local hip hop, as he mentioned as well on the panel, is that I was one of the first to kind of play a lot of local hip hop at the time, which some of the DJs weren't doing. And it's not to say that they didn't want to. I think for them they were possibly scared, or maybe they didn't have the platform, or they didn't understand how to make it work. And I was like, yo, if we don't play local hip hop, who's gonna play it? You know what I mean? And that's why it's such a big thing for me whenever I play at venues, that I play about 60% local hip hop, and I'll mix it up with about 40% of international, because we need to push ourselves if we want to take our own culture forward. So that's kind of what I did for Cassper, was play his music. When he sent me his stuff, I would make sure that I played in in a lot of my sets. Outside of my sets, then obviously in my platforms, being on radio also helped a lot, and I would be able to play his stuff, give him shout outs here and there, give him interviews when other people wouldn't. So it's just little things like that. But for me, I felt like I was just playing my part in the culture by doing that.
That was before Tak Shebelezi.
Yeah, that was Kushesha time, because Kushesha was his first big single, but before that he also had No Wahala. If you're a real Cassper fan, you'll know that there was a song called No Wahala, which had like a Afro beats type of mix up,
I only know Kushesha.
yeah,
From Kushesha
you see, so No Wahala was a song that he had released way before Kushesha came out. And from there, like, he was already starting to kind of push himself, and trying to get himself on the map, which is awesome to kind of see how he's grown,
It's big. And I'm kind of inspired, but I will say, like, I love how you assisted him, and even now you are still working together with him, for that to be able to sustain the relationship and all the stuff. So let's talk about your experience at YFM, being the first female DJ, the hip hop female DJ. Was the environment good? How was it?
It was good. It was very supportive. It was a good space to grow. And especially on such a big station like YFM, because you must understand, YFM's got legacy. YFM's got listeners. It's got a lot of people who want to be in the position that I was in. And I also know that I made a few mistakes. I mean, it's not like I was perfect when I got onto YFM, because I was still learning how to be a DJ. At the time, you must remember, I just finished my lessons at the academy. I'd only just started my residency, but I wasn't perfect. And the thing is about hip hop is that it's very hard to kind of master, because you have to keep practicing. And YFM still took a chance on me, even though they didn't know how good I was or whether I was great enough. I took the opportunity and I was like, hey, I'll learn on the job. I'll figure out how I go about this. And if I make mistakes, I learn from them. And that's what I enjoyed about YFM, is that they also didn't bog me down when they could hear, would say, hey, I could have done better on that mix, so I made a mistake here and there. Because for them, it's about growing people. And that's what I love about YFM. They've got this culture about nurturing young talent and taking them to the next level.
Did you buy property with YFM, man? Because everyone who works or who worked at YFM, they're saying there's money there.
I never got paid to be on YTKO.
Really?
I did it for free. Because that's what they offered. They said, you've got the platform. Grow yourself as a DJ. And that's what I took. And I was like, you know what? How else are people going to know about me? And if I'm going to complain about money, then I'm never going to get anywhere. I was a YFM DJ for an entire year. I didn't get paid a single cent. But the platform helped propel me to be recognized in the rest of the country. And that helped me take myself to the next step.
And you got bookings through there?
Yes, and I got bookings through there. So, it helped me from some perspective.
And now when you left YFM, you are at 5FM.
Yes.
How is the experience there?
The experience was good. When I first started at 5, I think there was this culture of like young, fresh, energetic, station. And I loved how they gave me just the free reign to kind of do what I wanted on the show. I never had any issues with management, because they just appreciated the fact that I came in, I did my job, and I got the numbers. And they knew that my numbers were also speaking to the work that I was putting together. So they also appreciated what I was putting in as well at 5FM. So I will never, speak down on 5FM, because they also took an opportunity on me. Didn't know whether I had a radio background. They just appreciated the brand that I was building and what I was trying to do for the culture. And again, also learning on the job. But I got better with time, and I got great at it. And I got and I had a lot of big milestones in my career at 5FM. So I really do appreciate the chances that YFM management and 5FM management took on me. It really changed my life.
What is your best memories, or what is the best thing that you love about radio?
I have many memories, but the one thing I love about radio is how honest it can be, and things happen off the cuff. A lot of things just happen at that moment, and you need to run with it. I think that's what I enjoy about radio, is that you can't control everything. You can try your best to control maybe 80-90% of what's happening on air, but you'll get a caller who will say something crazy, or you'll get a guest who will also come in and do something outrageous. So that's what I enjoy about radio, is that it's off the cuff, it's natural, it's entertaining, it's organic, it's not put together. You know, sometimes you can do some stuff, and it's not to say anything around TV. I appreciate TV, but I'm just saying with TV, there's the bonus of you can record and then re-record and then fix whatever mistake that you had made. Do you understand?
On radio,
with radio, you must just go with it and make a plan. And if you laugh at yourself, you laugh at yourself. And that's what's so awesome about radio, is that it also feels like you're talking to a friend of yours. It doesn't feel like something is being given to you. It feels like you're having a conversation with the person who's on radio. You guys are interacting. You're laughing at the same thing. It's in real time. That's what I really enjoy about radio.
And as a DJ, as a radio presenter, or as a radio DJ, you decided to merge or maybe to expand your career to become a musician.
Yeah.
You know, you released your song. Your first song was Connect, right?
Yeah.
With Nasty C, Kwesta,
and Rouge. Yeah.
Yes. So, what made you to say, I wanna expand my career into music?
I mean, music has always been a very big part of my life. As I mentioned, my background, but also over and above that, as a DJ, at some point you also want to do more for yourself, expand your brand, put yourself in spaces where people are going to appreciate you. And getting into music production, for me, was also just to say, okay, here's a little bit of me. I may play other people's music, but here's my take on what I would like to enjoy. Because as a DJ, you also are an earpiece to the people who are on the dance floor, and you want to make them have a good time. So for me, I'm like, okay, well, why not give them a good time with one of my own songs? And that's why I got into music.
That's a dope song. I love that song.
Thank you.
It's a dope song. It's my favorite song out of all your songs.
Oh, thank you. I know a lot of people enjoy Connect. They really think it's the one.
Yeah. With Nasty C while he was still young. Now he's grown.
Yeah.
So with Nasty C being young at a time when you released the song with him, and now, how do you feel about his growth in the industry, the things that he has accomplished, you know, because you have been there?
With Nasty, it's also another person who I basically watched him grow from like his first hit single to where he is now. And it's amazing to see the strides he's taken, how much his talent has grown, how much his writing has changed, how much he's carried himself as an artist. I really appreciate somebody like that, because he's very particular about the things that he wants. And he's very strict with himself to say, yo, if I'm going to put my name on it, this is what it needs to sound like. And you want to work with people like that, because you don't want people to just not care and say, here's a verse, and then they walk away. But you want somebody to be very like involved in the music, and that's what I appreciate about Nasty C. He's grown so much. He's definitely still got more to achieve. I think there's so much more that he can kind of take to the rest of the world, and I can't wait to see what else he's going to give to us, you know.
No, he's extremely talented, very talented. By the time when he was popping out, I think I was in grade 9, 2016 I was in grade 9. I was a huge fan, I'm still a huge fan. It's just like these days I'm not more into hip hop. I'm into R&B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I used to listen to his songs every day. Him, MT, Aries, when they just came.
That was a good year of hip hop. Yeah.
Yes, very, very, very good experience for us. I'm a huge fan of these guys. So now, you being a DJ, a musician, you got to travel the world internationally. I've been to New York.
Yes, I've been to a couple of places.
Yeah, from social media. I've been there. You shared stage with 2 Chainz, Chris Brown.
Yes.
The list is endless. You know, who was your favorite artist when you met them in New York?
I didn't meet them in New York. All of those artists that I opened for, I actually opened for them when they came here to South Africa. So the first one was Chris Brown.
Which year?
I can't even remember. It was my first year. I think it was when I was at Y. So it was 2012, if I'm not mistaken. No, 2013. It was 2013. And then the second artist was Kanye West, which was obviously just mind-blowing. After that was 2 Chainz and then Kendrick. And with those artists, I think all of those experiences were different because I put on a different performance for each of them. I was extremely scared with Chris Brown because I was like, what the hell am I doing? But then with Kanye West, I think I put on a bit of a show. I had a dancer, I had dancers, I had also had a drummer, I had a guitarist and a violinist, which I thought was amazing. So there was a lot that I kind of worked around performances as a DJ to kind of take things to the next level. So yeah, man, all of them were really awesome.
Are you Chris Brown's fan?
I'm a fan of all of the artists. I mean, if they make really great music, then I listen to a lot of their stuff. But yeah, I do enjoy Chris Brown.
I don't know, but I love so many artists. But there is no artist that I love like Chris Brown.
Oh, really?
I love Michael Jackson. But there's no artist I love more than Chris Brown.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you dance like him?
I can't sing, I can't dance, but when I'm listening to him, I feel like I can sing.
Okay,
but I can't sing.
Yeah.
And you share the stage with Black Coffee, DJ Shimza.
Yeah.
The list is endless. So like, Black Coffee has been a big DJ for a very long time, and you having to share the stage with him. Were you not scared?
I mean, I am scared, but at the end of the day, if I want to reach his level, if I want to be a international DJ like he is, I can't allow nerves to stop me. And sometimes nerves are good. I always say that being nervous is good because it means you care. So I definitely scared, definitely nervous, but you take on the challenge for what it is and you move with it, you know what I mean? And that's what I appreciated about being in spaces like that and being able to play with big DJs like Black Coffee, like Shimza, like Temba, all of the big artists that we have now in South Africa. I appreciate them for the contribution they make to the culture and to music, and how they're also pushing the envelope forward and saying, yo, we need to be international artists, and everybody has that opportunity to do that. So let's go. So yeah, man, all we can do is, try harder.
Okay. Do you have mantras before you go on stage?
No. No. I'm just like, okay, it's time to go, and then we go. Yeah.
But every time when you wake up in the morning, are there any ways that you encourage yourself with?
I don't necessarily have words of encouragement to myself. I may say a little prayer if I'm a little bit nervous about something. So I'll pray, I'll ask that God can be with me just to, keep my cool, make sure that I do the right thing, that I don't have a young Devon July there on the stage. Yeah. But I think if anything, like I'm usually confident if it's a club or like a festival or whatever the case is. But if it's a big stage, I do get nervous. And yeah, I'll just say a little bit of a prayer just for protection, and then we rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you work with Madjozi.
Yeah.
In one of the songs, it's
I've had on 2 songs actually.
Yeah, it's Booty, and the other one.
No, not on Booty. Madjozi, I had her on Baningi and A Baby.
Yeah. And Madjozi, you worked with her before, like after she blew up. I mean, you worked with her after she went to US to meet with John Cena, right?
No, it was before. I did both of those songs before
the first one was in 2018.
The first, so ABB I did in 2018, and then Baningi was in 2021. And both of those songs I had recorded them before she actually went to the States.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why you released them so late?
What do you mean so late? I released them at the time they needed to be released.
The 2021 song, like it has Amapiano beat in it.
Oh, Booty. No, Booty has got Moonchild on it. And that one did come out with a little bit of an Amapiano sound on it. That's actually Tyler ICU helped me with that song. Yeah. So that was also just a song with Boity. So Boity's on that song with Moonchild, and then Tyler ICU helped me with the beat on that tune. And I was also just trying myself out, trying to see if I can, play with different genres as well, just to show people that there's other types of energy that I can bring to my music,
I love the Booty song. I love the choreographing part, but I was like, why they didn't bring like a real person? This guy is not real.
What do you mean?
The
mannequin.
Yeah.
But that was the idea behind the energy, was to say, we've got this big idea of Uputi that we actually want, but then maybe he's not real because maybe we're asking for too many things from one person. So that's why we put on the mannequin. That was the idea, to then say maybe he doesn't exist, and we're going to then make it a mannequin to say that there's so many things that we want from a specific man, and maybe this is the person that we need to then present. But at the end, he does turn into a real person. He turns into Caddy.
Yeah, that's like 5 seconds towards the end. Like,
yeah. But that's the point. We're telling a story with the song, so you need to watch the whole story so that you can get to the end.
I loved also like the dressing. Who was doing wardrobe in that one?
Mr. Olivet. Oh, my favorites. I will always go to Mr. Olivet for styling for my music videos. He is the best. Mr. Olivet works with a lot of artists. He works with me. He works with Muesli. He's done some stuff with Tapsi, with Pearl Tusi. He's done some stuff with Zinhle as well. So Mr. Olivet is the guy, man. He's really awesome, and he's really creative.
Now the dressing was extremely strong and powerful. So now you have been quiet in terms of releasing music.
Yes.
When are you going to release an album or any?
I'm working on some songs. Hopefully I'm gonna have a single out by the end, sometime this year. But I'm hoping being the word, hoping I will drop it in the next couple of months. But I do have one single that's ready for release. The other songs I'm still trying to finish. And if I can finish them, hopefully I'll drop the album next year.
Are you going to work with Cass?
I could. I mean, I've got nothing against him. Cass and I are cool. I think if I were to speak to him about a specific song, I would need him to follow my direction. So, but what I like about Cassper is that he's open to hearing new ideas. He's not one of those artists who will say, it's my way or the highway. That's what I really enjoy about him. And that's why he'll give a lot of like up and coming artists features, because he wants to fit into other people's fan base, but also their direction, because he knows how he can sit in his direction, but it challenges him to work with other people. So I mean, I wouldn't be against like hitting him up and getting a feature, you know.
He was the first hip-hop artist to venture into Amapiano, right?
I wouldn't say he was the first. Major League were the first actually. But I think from a writing songs perspective, yeah. But there were others, man. I think there were plenty others who also kind of dabbled in Amapiano
before him. So like
but he maybe just did it successfully with a really big song with Siyathandana. So yeah.
So when you work on a hit like Connect, it's a hit, that one. When you work on a hit, a classic like that one, you write the lyrics and you ask Nesty, this is what I have. You have the beat rate and everything.
So I produce the process and the idea. So when I make music, I'll say, so for instance, Gemini helped me with that song. So I'll say to Gemini, this is the energy I want. This is the look and feel I'm trying to go for. I want it to sound like this. I want it to sound like that. I'm not a beat maker, so I can't sit in front of a board and physically make a beat. But the idea comes from me. Everything is my direction. So I directed Gemini from the beat and how I wanted it to sound. I directed the guys as well onto what I wanted them to speak about and the energy I wanted on the song. So that's why even with the way that the song is constructed, you can hear that they've kind of stuck to the theme and the energy that I wanted for specific songs, and that goes for all of my singles. It's all really my direction, and then they just kind of follow through with what they understand from what I say to them.
And you work with Kwesta in 2 songs, Connect and 88.
Yes.
Are you guys kind of family?
No, not at all.
Not family like blood, but when people that I'm so close with, most of the people, they call them best friends and close friends. I refer to them as family. Yeah. You know.
No, Kwesta's definitely family to me. Kwesta and I go way back, like from way back. Even before he even like blew up, when he had his first single, Sharp Fede, when he was still rolling around with Squatter Camp and still trying to get himself on stages. So I've known Kwesta for a very long time. And I think also watching him kind of grow got us very close and got us to a point where we consider each other as family and we're able to kind of support each other in everything that we do. So I will always have Kwesta's back. He'll always have my back. I mean, I played at his wedding, so we've really got a good relationship.
Yeah. The secret wedding.
It wasn't a secret wedding.
The Thursday wedding, like.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not like I was doing anything.
Yeah, most of people, like, during the week they're going to work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in this album, if you release an album next year, are you going to work with him?
I probably will. But I will see, because I'm also trying to do a different type of energy for my music now. I'm hoping to sample from different types of sounds. I don't want it to only be hip hop. I want to also have a little bit of dance music, different energies, because I also want people to understand that I listen to different types of music. I don't only listen to hip hop. So that's the point of the album that I'm trying to put together, to then say, yo, yes, you know me as this person, but my album is speaking about me as a person, and this is what I like to listen to, and this is what I'm going to share with the world. So there's going to be some dance songs, there'll be a house song, there'll be a little bit of a hip hop song, there'll be some Afro beats, there'll be some R&B, there'll be a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Talking about Afro beats, are you going to work with Afrobeat artists? Like
yes.
Davido?
Well, those big artists are very hard to get a hold of, firstly. So to get those features will be very difficult. But I am in contact with some artists who are in Nigeria at the moment, who are doing big things in Nigeria right now and just bubbling under to obviously then be the next big hit. I think by the time obviously the music comes out, you hear a little bit more from them, and you hear from them as well.
It's not that hard. Like, you have Nasty C, right?
Yeah.
And Nasty C has worked with Davido, right? Just tell him, hey, can you help me?
I mean, it's not that easy, but I mean, we could try. We'll see how we connect it.
Because like, is booming in his career right now, and Burna Boy also is booming. Is most of the time he's here. Burna Boy, is performing here. So now, music and everything, doing your thing. There's so many artists that you have been worked with, like Fifth Cooper, Nadia Nakai, and all the stuff. And now we have Lily Do, she's doing her thing. Are you going to consider this female artist, or you're going to build on what you have started with Show Madjozi and others?
100%. I am a big supporter of female artists. So anybody who I think can give me a new age or a new energy on a song, I will call them up immediately. So 100%. So I know I haven't worked with the likes of, like you're saying, Nadia Nakai, Fifi Cooper, Lady Do. I mean, there's also other people like Busiswa who I still want to do music with. There's many other artists, Shikana, that I really have a huge love and respect for, that I want to make music with. So those people, I will definitely hit them up, and I'll see how I can put the music together,
Right now, Amapiano founded in Tshwane, right?
I don't know about founded, but okay.
Like,
maybe commercially it's gotten big because of 20 years.
Now Amapiano is an international genre. Drake, he just I assume everyone assumed that he's in collaboration with Kabza the Small.
Yes.
How do you feel you see South African genre, Amapiano specifically, being recognized internationally?
I mean, it's about time. That's what I can say. It's about time, because we all know how rich South Africa is in culture, in music and entertainment. And I think there was just a point where we weren't exporting the right thing. And we just kept trying and moving and trying and moving and trying to understand, how do we create an energy and a voice for ourselves that can speak to the rest of the world. And finally, we have a genre that is doing that, and it's Amapiano. And it's taking it to the world, and it's taking it all the way through to the States, to people like Drake who understand and appreciate that it originated here in South Africa. And you call the king of Amapiano to help you with your music, I think is great. And I love the fact that Drake is very persistent in finding the originator of a certain sound he wants. Just like he's worked with Black Coffee before and he wanted the Afro-tech type of sound. Now he's going into Amapiano because that's the new hit thing. When he did Afrobeats, he worked with Wizkid. So I appreciate the fact that Wiz knows to go to the origin and he's giving it a platform, because Drake's the biggest artist we have in the world, if you think about it. He's the most streamed artist in the world. So what better artist to collaborate with than Drake to then expose the sound to the rest of the world? So shout outs. I'm loving it for South Africans. I think we need to, build on that and take it to the top.
Do you agree with me when I say Chris Brown is the first American artist to kind of appreciate South African music, Amapiano?
100%. Not even just Amapiano, just South Africa as a whole. I mean, Chris Brown did a lot. I mean, remember he was on Generations. He did that one episode when he was very young. He also came to perform here a couple of times. He's been here more than once. Some artists have only been here once. Chris Brown said, no, I'll come more than once, So I can appreciate the fact that he knows what South Africa has and the energy that we have, and he can collaborate in the ways that make sense to him to then, kind of fit in with what we're doing.
And that's great. The fact that I was speaking to Limpopo Boy. Just 2 weeks ago, I was speaking to him because now he's touring international. He's in Europe as we speak. So I was speaking to him about like his perspective on everything that is going on now. He's touring in Australia, Europe, France, you name all these countries. So it kind of expresses the same views that which you are expressing right now. So with everything that you have achieved, do you feel like there's something that you want to start doing now? That you feel like, no, Miss Cosmo, feels like you owe yourself this thing?
Like I said, I'm playing around with different sounds. I'm playing around with different energies, and I think now is the time for me to play with those sounds, because everybody knows me as a hip hop DJ, so they know that I can do that, and I don't think anybody doubts me in hip hop. Now I need to challenge myself and then say, what else can I do? How else can I expand myself? And that's why I'm playing around with different sounds, playing with a little bit of Afro beats, playing with a little bit of Afro house. I'm playing with a little bit of Afro tech. Those are the new energies that I'm kind of playing around with, just to see how much further I can express myself as the music that I love. Because you must understand, as a DJ, you're not stuck in a box. I'm also an artist. Just like artists just like a Cassper can make hip hop, he can make Afro beats, he can make Amapiano. I'm also a DJ. I can also play hip hop, I can play Afro beats, I can play Afro house, I can play Afro tech. I'm expressing myself in different sounds, and that's what I'm challenging myself now to then say, okay, what else can I play? How much further can I take this thing? Where else can people hear my name and appreciate me?
Are you considering going into acting?
I love TV. Do you know I actually did drama when I was in high school?
I've never heard of it.
I did drama. Well, it stopped at high school. I didn't do anything further than that. I did drama in high school. I did a couple of plays in high school. So drama definitely is one thing that I could consider maybe getting into. My only issue with TV is that it takes the whole day. I think that's my frustration, is that you're on set from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. That's my only problem with it. And that's why I love radio so much, because you do your 3 hours, you leave, you're done.
But most of it, DJ Fresh last month was saying that he missed radio, but he doesn't miss like the time that he spent on radio. You think of content of tomorrow, you spend your whole day making research and all this stuff. So it's not the same with TV.
It is, but it's also not. It's not as time consuming, because as much as he can think about things he wants to do on the show, he can also run his errands while he's thinking about what he's doing on the show. So he can go and do his shopping, he can go to a meeting, he can do an interview. But in between all of that, he's thinking, oh, I experienced this, I experienced that. Maybe I can talk about that tomorrow on radio. Do you know what I mean? So you spend time prepping, but that's time spent prepping. You're not stuck in a room where you're waiting for your time on set. Do you understand? He can still be able to be active and do other things in between all of that. So with radio, yes, you do spend time having to prep your show, but you don't spend the whole day. Number one. Number two, you have a producer. The producer's job is to put together the content. You as a presenter, what you can't do is add to that and say, oh, I've also got this idea, I've also got this is something I want to do, how can we angle this, how can we do that? So there is a lot of time spent on radio. I'm not disputing that, but I do think it's a lot more flexible than TV.
TV also, like, you mentioned 6 to 6. When you get home, you need to read the next line.
Exactly. Now you must learn those words. Oh!
Yes, you have more than 12 pages.
Again,
pages
I love radio because I can prepare what I want to talk about, but I don't have to stick to the script. I can say, okay, tomorrow, I've got an interview with Marcelo. On that interview, I want to speak about music and drama. And then I come in and then start speaking about music, but then we veer off and we start talking about politics and we talk about other things. There's nothing wrong with it. Why? Because it's off the cuff. It's natural. TV, if you don't stick to the script, you're fired. Oh, what?
But no. I don't know with other companies, but there are those who really appreciate creativity of artists, whereby you can not necessarily 100% stick to the script, but you can
improvise.
You see, you can improvise and do the thing. So now, are you maybe trying to start entrepreneurship thing? Start a company, invest this money?
I mean, I do have investments. Just because I don't talk about them doesn't mean I don't have them.
What kind of investments?
Obviously, because I was in finance, so I do have some stock investments, some stuff that I've put money away for certain reasons. I am working on building other things for myself, a property company. Other things would obviously then involve the spaces that I'm in production, all of that. So as and when the time comes, obviously I speak about things, but I think I put out there what I want people to see, and I want them to know about my music, and I want them to know about me as a DJ. Other things, I'll deal with them when I need to deal with them.
So talking about property company, I feel like right now, most of South African artists, they're well informed when it comes to investment in property. DJ Spoo is doing that. I saw Tibo Tachi just joined that, and you're also talking about that. So many people, Titimba has been doing that for a very long time. So, do you feel like property is a real investment?
I mean, I'm obviously biased because I worked in property when I was at the bank. So I understand that market because of that. However, I do think property has its people. It's not for everybody. It's expensive. It's also something that you only make money later. You don't make money now. So you must understand that this is the long game. If you're going to get into property, it's not something where you're going to expect to make a profit next month. So that's what I'm saying. It's got its people. Some people enjoy it and they say, oh, I know what I'm building towards. Other people say, this thing, it's taking too long. I don't like it. So it just depends on the type of person and what you want to get out of your investment. And that's why it's important if you're going to get into investments, you must understand what you are investing into and how you want it to work for you. And that's how you can get into the right spaces to make money.
Are you currently empowering young females and young people who want to join entertainment industry in any NPOs?
I don't have an NPO. I want to register a foundation. That has always been like a long time dream for me. Obviously, some of my plans were just a little bit delayed because of COVID, so that definitely stole some time from me and plans that I had put into place. But I've always been passionate about working with young people, which is very evident in the way that I express myself on radio and giving young artists an opportunity. And of course, with females as well. I'm a big advocate for female artists and trying to give them a platform and working with them in studio. So those will always be the directions I take with my music and always be the direction I take with my platforms so that young people and females always get, some sort of recognition, even if it's just from me,
Is there anything else you want to announce that you didn't
No, I think I've spoken about everything right now.
So, what is the advice that you have for every young person who looks at entertainment as an easy way to make it in life? So many people that we idolize who are American celebrities successful, they have made it successful through entertainment. You can name Michael Jordan before the sneakers and everything. He was an athlete. So it's either you're an athlete or you're part of entertainment. You see, so to young people who look at entertainment to say it's an easy way for me to make it in life. There's so much money in it.
I wouldn't say it's easy. Firstly, so you have to work to be in entertainment, and you have to maintain being in a space where people appreciate you to be in entertainment. You need to constantly work on certain things, constantly push the boundaries. And I think there's a lot of investment that also needs to happen in entertainment. You need to look good, you need to sound good, you need to appear in certain places. So many things that are involved in the background that people don't understand require a lot of money just because you're in entertainment. So I think it's not easy, but it is fruitful if you do it right. It is fruitful if you place yourself with the right people. Networking is very important in entertainment because everything that we do is all collaborative. It's all energy. It's all vibes. So you need to be able to have that type of energy and vibes for you to take it to the next level. And if you're passionate, because your passion is what's going to get you through, because there's going to be times where you want to give up because it's not easy. Like I said, entertainment is very difficult when you feel like you're not winning, when you feel like there's other ways you could be spending your money, spending your time. There needs to be something that keeps bringing you back to this thing to say, why am I in this? Why do I want to continue in entertainment? That passion is very important. If you don't have it, you're going to give up very quickly and go and try and do something else.
That's really impressive. Do you, out of just this is my last question. Out of all the contract that you have signed, did you read every single page of it and understand it? Because one of the challenges that we have in entertainment industry is artists not reading their contract or maybe not understanding them.
I mean, I can admit to not understanding and not reading some of my beginning contracts. But with time and with experience, you learn to read them and you learn to understand them. And if you don't understand them, you send them back and then you ask questions. Or if not ask questions, you give it to somebody who knows better, which is a lawyer. And I know lawyers are expensive, but you can always find someone, a counselor, someone else who can help you read it. It might not have to be a lawyer. Maybe you get somebody in business that you know who can read that contract for you, just so that they can understand basic minimum as to what you're getting yourself into. But currently, I read all of my contracts. I don't sign anything I don't understand. If I don't understand it, I ask the question before I actually put my name on it. And if I want changes, I will get those changes before I sign it.
Lastly, the podcast.
Yes.
To someone who doesn't know about it, what is it all about?
Podcast is a podcast just speaking about pop culture. We speak about anything and everything that's happening in South Africa, anything that is trending right now, anything that is making waves. We celebrate everybody who is doing good. We also talk about things that could be done differently. We speak about artists. We speak about music. We speak about entertainment. We speak about TV. We speak about anything and everything that is pop culture related. And that's presented by myself and Sipho Muchi. And we also have interviews as well, where we interview a lot of artists who are doing big things as well. So that's the enjoyable thing about being on a podcast, is that we are able to interact with different people and give different types of content to those people. And we also go to different events as well and showcase different events, which is a new thing that we started doing, which is awesome.
As much as you're making money right now, make sure that you pay your taxes. So
100%.
Because you find young person like me, I get maybe 100,000 sponsorship or endorsement. I just squander it. I don't remember that I have to share this money with the government.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys comply with that.
Of course we do. 100%.
Thanks so much for coming, spending your precious time. I don't take this lightly. So for a young person like myself, I'm doing my third year now at Vets. I grew up watching you guys on TV, here doing the interviews. There's an interview which you did back then with DJ Vigilante, watching you guys in your songs. So for me to sit like this with you is such an honor. So squeezing me, slotting me in your busy schedule, it means a lot. So with that being said, I always say this to all my guests. May God continue to bless you in everything that you do. May you continue to grow in every plan that you do. And thank you so much.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much for inviting me. I do appreciate it as well. I mean, I did agree as well, because I understand how difficult it is to start, because I've been in your shoes before. So I need to at least be able to, give back just a little bit, and just to say, you know what, you're doing the right thing, keep on pushing, and you'll take it to the heights that you want to take it to. So big ups on that, and thank you again.
No, thanks. I hope that will happen as you wish and as you say. Thanks so much, guys. If you love this interview, make sure that you click that subscription button, you comment and share. See you in our next episode.